All right, so everybody just seen that we have Mike Fatality here from UWF taking the death hour to the backyard. We've had Mexico talent, we've had Japan talent, we've had major mainstream death talent. Now we are here with the backyard owner of UWF. You have anything you want to plug or anything like that?
Hell yeah, man. First off, UWF Uncivilized Cup. This is our deathmatch tournament from last year. We just got these DVDs in about a month ago. Selling these $15 a piece. Shipping paid to the United States. We got all kinds of T-shirts. We got all kinds of merchandise, but I'm not gonna push that all on you right now. Let's answer some questions, I guess.
All right, of course, I have plenty of questions for you. We've done a lot of research on this UWF. First of all, talk to us about how you got started. Talk to us about XPW before UWF, how everything got going.
All right. Well, I didn't start in XBW. Um, there was this company called VSW, Northeast Philly, way back in the day. Um, our underground champion, actually in UWF, Ozzy. He was the owner and the founder, the booker, whatever. Um, these two crazy motherfuckers named Browns and BMFM. They took me under their wing when I was like 14, 15 years old. You know, I watched a bunch of ECW, the early CZW, all that kind of shit. And I just always wanted to do some violent shit. I was in a
Right.
lot of trouble when I was younger. I was getting into a lot of fights and just, I needed like a healthy outlet for that shit. And they took me under their wing. They brought me in. We beat the fuck out of each other in a batting cage every single Sunday. Um, that was the time of like YouTube. YouTube was really picking up, and these guys from South Philly hit me up on YouTube and were like, "Yo, we like your shit. You're as violent as we are. We should link up." And that was XBW, Extreme Backyard Wrestling. It was owned by this dude named Sick Mexican, and he kind of took me in under his wing. He was a couple years older than me, and he had been going to all the shows. He went to ECW as a kid with his dad and all that shit. Um,
So just
he brought
emerging
me
as
in,
a
and we started doing death matches together, and started getting more and more violent. I mean, this was back in like 2005 to 2009. I was
right.
just a kid. Um,
How old are you
yeah,
now?
I'm 28 now. I've been
Gotcha.
doing this shit for too long, too long to not get paid for it.
You're 28 and you feel a lot older than that.
Yeah, man.
So talking about like the backyard promotions and stuff, like what are your thoughts on the POR? And wasn't there supposed to be like a duo show there or something with them?
Yeah, we're working on a deathmatch tournament with those guys. Actually, um, they're cool dudes, man. They do their own thing down there in Virginia. Uh, they're violent. They're crazy. I think they're a little bit crazier than we are, to be honest with you. Getting hit by fucking cars and setting each other on fire, getting hit in the
Right.
nuts for fun. I'm not about
Right.
that, man. I'm not trying to get hit in the nuts for fun.
So, yeah, you don't really have no like competitive edge with them, or like you don't stand out to
No,
do
not
better
really.
than
I
them or
mean,
anything like that.
it's all love with those guys, man. I mean,
Right.
if I'm to break character or whatever, uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I do want to fuck some of them guys up, though. I want
Right.
to make
Yeah.
them bleed. I want to stab them up a little bit. Some of those
And
guys
was
aren't too
that like
familiar with bleeding, so
was that a show that got postponed or like what was the day?
this
Like
is
that
so
was
this
announced,
tournament's
right?
supposed to happen May 31st, but with everything going on right now, it's kind of still all up in the air. Our city of Philadelphia is currently on like a pretty serious lockdown, and every couple weeks they just keep extending it. So I'm not really
Right.
sure what's going on. It's something I got to touch base with them on. We're kind of just, taking it day by day, waiting to see if any news breaks or whatever, as far as what our mayor wants to do with the lockdown and all that.
Yeah, speaking of that,
Um,
like, what do you think about what's going on right now? Like, do you think it's being overplayed, or do you think people are too worried, not worried
um,
enough?
Here's probably where I'm going to piss off a lot of people for the first time in this interview. Yeah, I definitely think it's overhyped. Honestly, I think I had the virus back in January. I was
That's actually
in
what
bed
I'm
for like a
thinking.
week straight. I actually missed our basement deathmatch show, the Underground Ultra Violence show. I was supposed to wrestle Mikey Anarchy in a Taipei match, and I was so fucking sick for like the 2 weeks leading up to that I had to bail out. Um, I
Right.
think that the coronavirus thing is going to blow over pretty soon. Maybe it's just me being hopeful because I got shows to run just like everyone
Right.
else.
Yeah. It seems like it's just gotten worse though, but they say everything gets worse before it gets better. So
Yeah,
hopefully
man.
we can get
Philly's like
through
the next big hot spot too.
it. Right. So like, it doesn't like 'cause you can't run shows at all. Like, you haven't thought about doing anything because I mean they're backyard shows. So I mean you can't do limited crowd. 10 people ish, nothing like that. Like, have you thought about doing anything like that? Like Adam Bueller's doing a backyard show, like type thing. You thought about doing anything during the time?
Yeah, there were some talks. We're still considering it really. It's just we're actually in the process of moving into a new venue, a much bigger, better venue with a roof and a lot more amenities. Uh, the problem is that with the lockdown and the whole virus scare, like this past 6 weeks or so have been really tough trying to get everyone together to come down and actually make everything, build it up to where we need it to be in order to have shows. So we're kind of slacking in
Coronavirus.
that department right now, and the virus is really holding us back.
Right.
So
Coronavirus.
I guess we'll see how the next couple weeks go.
Right. Yeah, hopefully we can get back to the violence. Everybody's definitely bloodthirsty right now with not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, man, I'm bloodthirsty.
So, what's your thoughts on Superhuman? Was there plans on him to work at a UWF show?
Superhuman. I'm a fan. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's hilarious. I think he's got balls. Um, he hit me up out of the blue one day, like on Snapchat or something, and he sent me the message, "I want to fight you." And I hit him up, and we shot some messages back and forth and some ideas and whatnot. And then he just stopped replying to me out of nowhere. And then like a few weeks later, I see he's booked on a GCW show to make an appearance. And I don't know. He might be too big for us now.
I mean, he
Who
appears
knows,
to be
man?
too big for the Death Hour. We've definitely done our share of reaching out to Superhuman, and
Oh yeah,
he seems too big for a lot of things nowadays. So I don't know. A lot of people, I guess, I wouldn't even call it jealousy, but a lot of people are angry that he gets these GCW opportunities and gets this major platform. You know, millions of views. I'd say I'm not exactly sure how much he gets, but you know, a lot of people aren't ever very happy with him on here.
yeah. I mean, I got no problems with him. He does his own thing. He ain't hurting nobody. That's how I look at it. Hurting nobody but himself. Just
Yeah,
like
but
all of us.
himself.
We're all fucking around in the backyard. We're doing this shit for fun. You know what I mean?
Mm. Rick Hyde has a question. He says, "How do you feel with how far UWF has come in the last 2 years?"
Oh man. Um, really, man, I'm mind blown. I don't even know how I got here. I mean, like I said, we're just a bunch of dudes fucking around in a backyard trying to have fun, man. And we started throwing little private parties, private shows, whatever you want to call it, all invite only, word of mouth, friends and family.
Right,
And it went from us, fucking each other up in front of 10, 12 of our best friends and our cousins and shit to, you know, drawing 80 to 100 people in the backyard.
right.
And
So,
I
how
would
do
have
people
never
like go
fucking
about
guessed
getting
that we'd be
into it?
here.
Right. So how do people like go about getting tickets to that? Like your shows? How do people actually go about going to them? Is it just anyone nowadays?
No tickets, man. Just hit me up. That's it.
Gotcha. So it's
You hit
just
me
your
up. You get an
decision is,
invite.
and there's no money involved in that at all.
Nah. Nope.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Just
I was totally
all of
uncertain with
us
that last
having fun,
show.
man. We got merchandise that we're trying to sell, and we take donations. At the end of the day, we're just fucking around.
All right. So that actually leads to another one of my questions. So with doing no money and things like that, how do you manage to get big names like the Rejects were scheduled to appear, and there's been others too, I believe. Like, how do you manage those?
I mean, I work a day job, man. You know, um, I met the Rejects in a parking lot a couple years ago. One of my first shows back
Right.
into pro wrestling. So I had fallen out of pro wrestling for like I don't know 8 years or so. I didn't keep up with nothing. I just was doing my daily life, and one day I ended up meeting the Rejects in a parking lot at GCW, and I didn't even know who the fuck they were. And we just started drinking and talking, and you know I've been cool with them ever since. We party all the time whenever they're in town, and you know, Murdoch's actually the one who reached out to me and was like, "Yo, man, I really love what you guys are doing and would love to be involved one day. We're out there pretty often. We should make something happen." So
Right.
it just all kind of came
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, they're pretty good dudes. Murdoch's been on here twice now. Actually, we're actually working on something to do with him for a third time. So it's
Hell
always
yeah.
good having him around.
So if
What
I
about
can say
Akira?
something about the May 3rd show, that May 3rd show is actually being postponed. I was just talking to Murdoch earlier with everything going on in Philly and what's going on with them over in their state and everything. OPW canceled the day before, so there's just a lot of shit going on, and we're actually postponing that date. The match is still going to happen. It just might be another month or two into the summer. We're gonna have to figure that out.
It's just shutting everything down, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks, man, but we're trying to get the ring up and get the arena together and just be ready for when we can actually start having gatherings again.
What about Akira? Wasn't there plans to have him on a show?
Yeah, the same show, May 3rd. He
Okay,
rides
so
out
that's
with the
still gonna
Rejects.
go with him. Yeah. Do you have anything you
Um,
say about him? You familiar with his stuff?
yeah, I've watched a few matches. I've seen him live at OPW before. He's
Yeah.
definitely a good worker. I think he's got a very bright future if he sticks with deathmatch wrestling for sure.
Right. Yeah, Akira's one of those guys that actually trained local to me, and I watched him do a lot of scrambles and things like that to get to where he is now. Like he actually originally had no intent of doing the death match, and so it's crazy to see how he's blown up doing those. Let's see. We have plenty of comments coming in. I'm leaving people out. A lot of people are saying Uncivilized was lit. Everybody make sure they definitely hit him up. Get that Uncivilized cup. A lot
Yeah,
of
man,
people
get
are
in touch.
recommending it in the comments.
I got all kinds of UWF merch. If you order a DVD, I throw in all kinds of stickers, buttons, magnets.
Did this guy go straight through you as of now? It's just hit you up and
Yeah, hit me up personally or hit up the UWF page on Messenger.
he says it's $15. So everybody make sure they check that out. I know he has a YouTube too, right? So
Yeah, man. Honestly, our YouTube isn't really updated too much. We've got like probably 50 odd shows, totally unreleased footage. Maybe one match here and there has been edited and released.
all right.
If there's any editors watching this and you want to do me a solid and edit some fucking footage in exchange for free merch or a couple bucks here and there, hit me up,
Right.
man. This shit's got to get out there.
Yeah, you don't want to. That's a lot of grinding. a lot of time spent to get all that stuff edited. That could be a killer.
Yeah, man. I was trying to do it myself for a while, but I mean, I just got too much going on with my daily life and my day job and trying to run these shows, and it's just too
Right.
much to keep up with. I'm not a very good editor either, to be honest.
Matt Williams asked, anybody you want to call out for a challenge? Like, is there any dream match you'd like to have? Or anybody that you just really don't like and really want to make bleed? Either one.
I'm going to answer the first question: who I want to call out, who I want to eventually have a dream match with, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this fucking club knows exactly who that is. Nick Gage. One day, man, me and you, 1-on-1.
Yeah, but we're definitely pretty familiar with Nick Gage around here, and I think that comment's floated around multiple times, so I think we've all seen that. Crystal Tuttle says, if you could get anyone on your show, who would it be? Would I guess be Nick Gage? Or would that be a different answer?
Well, without any spoilers, I don't know. That's a hard question. Um, I've
You
already
say
got
without any
plans.
spoilers, so you've
I've
already got
already
that
got plans
accomplished.
for a lot of some of my favorite wrestlers who are still active in the scene today, uh, to work with UWF in the future. Um, the rejects being announced for our show is like the first of a couple big announcements I had. I didn't announce anything else because of all the coronavirus shit happening. I wasn't sure if the shows were even going to happen or not. But you know, I've got people hitting me up personally that want to get involved from all over the country. Uh, just keep an eye out for us, man. You know,
We got a lot of big plans coming up. It's always good to hear.
a lot, man.
Kevin Gordon said his Bammer still around.
Yeah, he's downstairs right now. If we're quiet enough, we can probably hear him yelling at the top of his lungs. Hold on. I'm just fucking around. But yeah, Bammer's actually that's actually my best friend, my roommate. You know, that's why we go out there and beat the fuck out of each other like we do.
Yeah. Is he on these shows too? Is that where he's from too?
Yeah, that's actually who I was supposed to team with against the rejects.
Gotcha. I was
Bammer.
gonna
He
ask
uh
who that
he
was.
he won our Uncivilized Cup last year.
Mm.
I mean,
Hey, no spoiler
that's a
alert.
spoil. Hey, it's a spoiler, but if you go online and watch the video of Tristan Ramsey getting thrown off the scaffold, you already know who's fucking winning it, man.
Yeah.
I do
So
want to
you
give a shout
mentioned
out to Tristan Ramsey, though, man. Tristan Ramsey, he's from Tennessee. He's a pro wrestler. He hit me up out of the blue, and he's seen us on TJ Brown, TJ and Friends, on his YouTube vlogs, and he hit me up and was like, "Yo, man, I want to come out there and bleed with you guys. Like, I want to help you guys, get on the map. Let's do some crazy shit together." And that's exactly how the Uncivilized Cup came together.
like,
And
what are your thoughts on IWA Deep South? Like, he was in that Angel of Death tournament. What was your
uh,
thoughts on that?
he was booked for it, but he had some shit go down and pulled out last minute. He's actually booked for the Prince of the Death match this year, though, for Mid South.
Right. Yeah,
So
I did
I
see
wish him the
that.
best of luck with that, man. Because Tristan's a hell of a worker, man. Anyone who's watching this, if you're in the South somewhere, you need a dude who will work hard and will bleed all the fuck over. Hit up Tristan Ramsey. But back to the question, Deep South. A lot of people hate on Deep South, man. I fucking love it. I've always loved Deep South. Um, you know, personal, political, whatever opinions aside with the owner, Kevin Brannon, uh, he's always been a cool dude to me. I met him when I was like 17 years old, came down for one of the Carnage Cups, 2009, I think. And he was cool.
Right.
I would work for Deep South one day. I mean, me and him have had a couple of conversations. about maybe making it happen one day.
Mm. See,
Yeah,
I've always liked Deep South too. Like, there's really nobody that does, what Deep South does. They bring their own kind of feel. They have the goofy $10 wrestling too. They have the just
yeah.
sick stuff. They don't really have any sound, professional wrestling, but it's very unique. Any Deep South show you get, you're gonna get a jaw drop somehow.
Oh, most
So
definitely. Someone's getting
whether
stabbed
it could
or
be
their
somebody
fucking finger
it
cut
could be
off.
somebody fighting a fan, it could be anything. It could, just tear like one of the $10 matches. I mean, those will blow your mind in person. Like you get little Donnie and all these guys running around just hitting each other with random stuff. So I've always loved the Deep South shows. People always hate on me in here for that. So
Hey man, I love all deathmatch wrestling. I'm not picky. Um, I like the new hybrid style of deathmatch wrestling, but it's really not my favorite. It's not what I do. I prefer
Ain't
the
no money in wrestling.
hack and slash, slam you a couple times, big spot, gig someone wide the fuck open, bleed all over, brawl in the crowd.
old school death match, it's
Yeah,
before
man.
before everybody had to get unique, and because now it's hard to impress anybody. It's hard to get that wow, so
Yeah.
people go in great wrestling with it, and that brings a big appeal. So let's see. We have plenty of comments coming in. I hope you know you're a lot more popular than a lot of people. These are hard to keep up with.
I don't know how, man. I'm a fucking backyarder.
Yeah, man, people love UWF in this group. All day long, I was seeing shares everywhere, posts about it. So don't feel like people don't care about it. Max Cundy wants to know, have you ever thought about getting trained fully and going to the Indies?
All right, so yes and no. And I'll start that off by saying that I don't claim to be a professional wrestler. Um, I'm an auto mechanic. I have a trade. I make enough money to survive. Uh, this is really just a hobby to me right now. Um, you know, maybe one day I'll finish up pro wrestling school. I have had a little bit of training. It's not anything to brag about or even really mention usually, but when I was younger, I was working for this company called ACPW. They're local to Philly, and I just used to help them set up the ring and set up chairs and shit. And they kind of used me as a rag doll and taught me the basics and bumping and running the ropes. And I did a couple of seminars when I was younger too, before I originally got out of wrestling and just didn't give it any attention. Just a couple years ago though, when the GCW compound first opened, I was one of the first students there. A lot of people don't know this because I don't go around just saying, "Hey, I trained at GCW." Because to be honest with you, I only lasted like 2 fucking months. But I had a lot going on personally back then. Um, so yeah, I had a couple months training, but with Nick Gage and Homicide, just a lot of the basic stuff. And you can probably see it if you watch some of my matches, especially the stuff this past year. Um, I don't know. Uh,
So you're still
we
willing to
plan on
learn as
bringing
much
in
as you can.
what's that?
So you're still, willing to learn as you go and
Oh
things like
yeah,
that,
man.
but you don't want to
Uh,
make
you
a
know,
career
I,
out of
I
it
don't
exactly.
I don't claim to be a professional. I don't know if I want to be a professional. I'm just doing this shit for fun, man. And if I get some more training along the way, then that's awesome. I'm planning on bringing in a lot of professional guys this year, at least just to work with our guys and help them train a little bit, doing like seminars and stuff in the Philly area. So if you're interested and you're in the Philly, Jersey area, hit me up.
And like, well, how do you feel about guys that like go in and do backyard with absolutely no, like, have no type of training, nothing? Like, is that okay with you or? Like, do people work on your shows with no kind of background, or?
Um, yes and no. Uh, and I'll probably draw some heat for saying this too, but um, a few of our guys are a little more trained than I am. A few of our guys have about the same amount of basic training that I have, and a few guys in our company have kind of come in under my wing, and I just taught them the most basic, simple, how to be safe and how to work inside the ring, and that's really it.
Right.
I mean, when I was younger, we were all doing it with literally no training, and we were hurting each other. We were fucking each other up. At least now we can execute moves properly, and we can sell the moves, and it's not like we're really fucking hurting each other. Except for
Yeah.
when me and Bammer or Asylum go out there and just beat the fucking shit out of each other. We end up with, unicorn lumps and black eyes and shit like that. But those are my best friends, man. We beat the fuck out of each other for fun.
Right. It sounds like a pretty good friendship.
Yeah, you
So
know it.
we had a clip that we wanted to show. It was this mailbox spot, and you won't be able to see it on here, but we're gonna show it to the people, and I'm gonna ask your thoughts on that. What was going through these guys' head as we literally see somebody get drilled in the face with a mailbox? That
Yeah,
clip
let me
should be
know when the
rolling.
clip's done playing.
I don't think it has audio, so I think you could talk over it. I think that's
Oh
okay.
man, the audio is the best part.
It might have it. I'm not really sure.
Sounds like someone getting hit by a semi truck, man.
Yeah.
No,
Let's
I
see.
don't
It's
know what was going through their heads, but I'll tell you what, it was in my basement, and I had no idea they were fucking doing that, man. I would have told them don't do that. There's not many things I tell people not to do, especially when it comes to fucking violence and wrestling, but oh man, I was a nervous wreck when that fucking the sound of impact, and I just cringed, and immediately I was like, there's going to be an ambulance outside my fucking house in a couple minutes.
So what happened with that? Was he conscious?
Uh, he was
No,
conscious. He was
barely.
okay. He was okay enough to drink a little bit more, and his girlfriend was like, "Yo, you gotta fucking go to the hospital. You have like a pussy on your head." And he literally did.
Mm,
He needed like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 stitches, maybe even more. He's watching this right now. Maybe he'll chime in. Um,
right.
the dude had vertigo for like 2 months afterwards, though. Don't ever get hit in the head with the mailbox, guys. If you're watching this, that is one thing I will tell you. You'll
Yeah,
never
don't
see
do
me
that.
take a mailbox straight to the dome.
Yeah. So everybody got to just see that. It actually had the little Grand Theft Auto wasted, you know. So,
Yeah, that video went pretty viral, man.
you're pretty familiar with our Death Hours, right? You watch the shows.
I've watched a few of them, yeah.
Did you happen to see the one with American Giant? The
No, I
$5,
was actually
$10
on
guy.
vacation when that was happening, man.
All right, so
I didn't
he
get
had
to
a whole
watch it.
spiel where he is talking down on backyard and hates backyard wrestling. So we had to ask if you had anything you wanted to say to him. I guess it's not as good because you didn't see it, but he bashed backyard wrestling for a good 20 minutes.
Honestly, I do not like it.
All right, I'm going to try to say this without drawing as much heat as possible.
Not
And,
like it.
dude, you're talking down to backyard wrestling when you're working a Deep South show in front of like 25 people. You're literally like this much above backyard wrestling at this point. I mean,
I see a
I
lot of
watched
people
some of that
compare the Deep
show. I
South
watched
to
some of those
backyard.
some clips. I can't say I watched full matches. Except for Akira and Aiden, I watched that match, but uh, I seen clips of the rest of the show, and like you. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Yeah, it's a whole I don't like it. We probably have the sound bite playing now because we have American Giant sound bites, and there's a picture of him
Well,
showing and everything. But
Are you
Missouri against the backyard.
Are you serious?
Rich is the guy, right? Rich, is that the guy that got hit by the mailbox?
No, Steven.
Okay. He said 8
Yeah.
Staples. I didn't know if that was
So,
him. No.
okay, Rich is actually my other roommate. That's the ref of our company. The giant leprechaun looking motherfucker.
Yeah, Mikey commented. It said he had to get 12, I believe, and then Rich said 8, so somewhere in between there.
Well, Mikey's the dude who hit him with the mailbox. And if you watch the full match, actually, Browns smoked Mikey in the face with the mailbox while he was laying on the ground. And that whole mailbox incident, like, that was a receipt. Apparently, he went to pick up the mailbox, and, Browns was like, yo, just give me a good one. And Mikey didn't hold back, and Browns did not fucking protect himself at all, man. He took that straight to the dome.
Yeah, we seen that plain and day, straight to the head. Let's see. There's a lot of comments in here asking about a particular person. We're going to get to that later.
Yeah, I think I know who that
is. What's your thoughts on Alex Nabi?
Does his name rhyme with shit by any chance?
Thoughts on Alex Nabi, the stuff he does over there in Russia?
Oh, that dude's fucking out of his mind, man. And I say that in, like, the nicest way possible, because that motherfucker does stuff that I would never even think about doing.
Right,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a match.
A firecracker in his butt or something.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
you're not going to see me maiming my genitals.
Or using gasoline.
No.
He lit the whole
dude, look
ring
at all
on
this
fire.
hair.
I think we can show that clip, too.
I rarely fuck with fire, dude. Look at this hair. I'm not trying to get this shit set on fire.
Right.
Fantastic beer.
Yeah, we had a whole conversation with him about not using gasoline anymore. He was on the death hour at one point, so.
Yeah, I caught some of that.
You live and you learn. What is the asylum incident? I actually have no idea what that is, so I can't even elaborate on it.
I'm assuming it means my first match back to backyard wrestling. XPW, I want to say 2017. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll see it. It's a no-rope barbed wire match. It's me and Bammer. Funny story, I was supposed to wrestle Asylum like 3 times in a row. He no-showed. The match got postponed. We were supposed to do a no-rope barbed wire for my return to backyard wrestling. Asylum no-shows again on the 3rd time. We already have the barbed wire set up. I had a bunch of friends and fans there. So Bammer steps up and comes out to wrestle me. Well, Asylum shows up like towards the end of the match, and as soon as the match is over, he comes out and challenges me for the title that I had just won. And we had a couple-minute brawl. I tossed him into the barbed wire ropes. That motherfucker ran full speed ahead, and it's like the most brutal fucking no-rope barbed wire spot I've ever seen. And it's a shame because there's not very good video footage of it, but he got fucking lacerated, like, around his neck.
The person that asked had to actually have known about it, because I never saw that clip.
All the way to the sides. Was it Matt Freckingham?
I can't remember, actually. It was in the comments.
It had Matt Freckingham. He's one of our biggest fans. Shout out to Matt, man. You're a fucking cool-ass dude. He supported us. He's bought a bunch of our merch from all the way over the pond over in England.
Yeah, that's had to be what it is, because he did mention the time zone. He said he wouldn't watch it live, but make sure it got asked, because he would have to go back and see it. So.
Yeah, that was some wild shit, man. If you guys want to look it up, it's XPW 2017, Mike Fatality versus Bammer, no rope barbed wire. Keep in mind, I hadn't wrestled in like 8 years. It was my first time back in the ring. It's not very good, besides for a couple of big spots or whatever, but, that incident alone, it's worth watching till the end. and it's history. You know what I mean? If you're into the backyard wrestling, you might enjoy it. But if you're looking for some actual good wrestling, it's not it. There's better matches. There's better UWF matches to watch.
Right. So before we get into what everybody wants, what's your relationship with Connor Claxton? What's the issue with him?
Oh, I don't know, man. He said something smart online like a couple months ago. I don't know, man. That shit. It's like one of the least of my worries right now. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I think
That's bad.
we were at a show one time and he was working heel and he came out and said "fuck Philly" or something, and I was like, "Fuck you, you fat fuck." And he came up to me after the show and was like, "Hey man, that's not cool. Like I'm really sensitive about my weight. I'm working on it." And I broke it down to him. I was like, "Dude, I was just working you because you were working me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it's just
I'm
that's
actually a
kind of
fan of Connor
that's like the
Claxton.
most basic. That's the
Yeah,
most basic insult.
and it's like the easiest thing to do is to chop on someone's weight. You know what I mean? When he came up to me, I was like, "My bad, bro." Like, it wasn't anything personal or anything, but if you're gonna shit talk
Right.
me on Facebook and act like you don't know who I am, then I'm gonna mention the fact that I called you fat and you almost cried about it.
Right. Yeah, I think I remember that thread now. Actually, they got brought up. I think I remember reading through that. Let's see. Max Cundy wanted to know, what do you want for UWF in the next 5 years? Do you want to expand any, or just you already have the big plans? I know you mentioned
Um,
that.
Man, I'm taking this shit like one day at a time, man. I didn't think we'd even be here. You know what I'm saying? This is it's mind blowing to me. If I get to work with the rejects, if I get to work with Nick Gage, if I get a couple other people, in the yard that want to work with us, I'm already happy with what we've accomplished right now. I've sold like 120 copies of the Uncivilized Cup. That's It blew my fucking mind, man. I didn't think we'd even come close to that. Um,
All right.
the
And I think hopefully this will get you some more, because hopefully a lot of people are gonna, right after this is over, hit you up and get theirs the day.
Yeah, hit me up, guys. I got a bunch of T-shirts. Actually, do you mind if I plug the T-shirts right now?
Yeah, you go ahead. I think we have pictures to put up of them too.
Yeah, I got all of them. I can just hold up right now.
Oh, good deal. That's perfect.
We're doing $15 postage paid for the DVD, and like I said, it comes with a little bit of a merch package: stickers, buttons, some magnets, stuff like that. And then we got the T-shirts. So if you want a DVD and a T-shirt, the first 20 orders I get are gonna get a free beer koozie as well. For sure. I just got these in a couple days ago. Bam.
Those look good.
So for the T-shirt and the DVD, the koozie, all the stickers and buttons and all that shit, it's gonna be $30, postage paid. But here's some of the T-shirts I got. It's gonna be difficult because I'm holding up the camera by one hand. There's only a couple left of these. Ugh.
So those are the uncivilized shirts.
Yup. Ugh. Man, I'm fucking up.
Is that the only shirt you have at this time, or you have more?
Nope. I got quite a few more. Hold on a second. Satan's finest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everybody, make sure you
Flaxen
hit
is
him
a
up and get
dick.
this stuff. Anybody that doesn't want merch, we have a PayPal for all the Death Hour people. So that link's been dropped a couple times. Anybody wants to donate, just go there. Whoever you want to donate to.
Donate to
We
both
will
of
get that.
us.
We will get that
Support
to them.
UWF and Murder Death Kill Club. Now I got UWF
Victor
logo. We
Corona
got T-shirts and
says
tank top. These are the tank
mailbox
top.
shot heard around the world. Reading some of these.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck Jim Cornette shirts are. Hold on a second.
You got Jim
And
Cornette shirts?
yeah, so let me tell you a little something. Let me give you a little bit of a history lesson here, because G Raver kind of got all the publicity and the lawsuit and all that bullshit from Jim Cornette, but about a week or two before G Raver released his "Fuck Jim Cornette" T-shirt, UWF put out the original one, and I've got messages with G Raver to prove it. Him, thanking us for releasing it, and I sent him one, and
Gotcha.
we're sending 20% profits to him.
You got no backlash on that at all or anything?
Nah, I mean, to be honest with you, we sold a couple dozen of them, and then he released his T-shirt, and I don't think I've sold a single one of those since he released his shirt.
Right. Yeah, I mean that shirt's huge, but I mean that's also why there was, lawsuits and everything else. So you didn't have to deal with all
Right,
that.
right.
With good comes the bad, I guess. Rick Hyde vouched for the uncivilized shirt. Says it's awesome. Kevin Gordon's been commenting in here a lot.
What's going on, Kevin? Vic, what's going on, bro? Yeah, Rick Hyde, Matt Williams. Y'all, love all you guys, man. They've been out to a couple of our shows. Big supporters. Matt, I know I still owe you a T-shirt. once the new batch of shirts comes in, man, I got you. Actually, Matt, hit me up, man. I'm gonna send you a DVD in the meantime. On me.
What's your friendship like with Jimmy Lloyd? That was a question I was told to ask for someone too.
All right, so Jimmy Lloyd, awesome dude. I actually met him personally through the GCW compound a couple of years back. He was actually training there, believe it or not. All the years of training he had, he was still training at the compound. And he don't drive or nothing, so I drove him home a couple of times after training. We just kind of shot the shit and we hit it off, and he's a cool dude, man. Jimmy's fucking the next big thing. I mean, and he don't have no ego about him either, man. Like, he's been to our backyard a couple times, man. He's been to my house for our basement shows. He did a training seminar or two for us. He's came over my house, just kicked it a bunch of times. He's a cool dude. I hope to have Jimmy in UWF during 2020 sometime. Maybe you'll even see me and Jimmy go at it.
Mm.
Does Kit
that'd
have
be good.
Napoleon syndrome? All right, man. Let's discuss the
No
Kit
Kid
Osborne
Osborne.
situation, because I've seen like 100 comments regarding Kit Osborne, and
Save the best for last, my guy.
yeah, okay, fair enough.
I was actually just about to ask though if anybody had any more questions before
Go
we get
ahead,
to what
yeah,
everybody wants. Go ahead and
go
ask
ahead. I feel
those.
like I'm
'Cause I'm
talking
out.
a lot, so.
I was gonna ask you about. Did you watch Tiger King?
I watched the first couple episodes and then I fell asleep, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm on like 3 and stuck at 3, so I haven't watched it all. But we ask
That's
everybody
exact.
about the current topics.
Yeah.
All right. So Kid Osborne reffed your shows, and now he talks down about it more than anybody. Talk about Kid Osborne.
All right. So my history with Kid Osborne, it started when he took a picture off of my personal profile of me and Bammer just being stupid in my dining room, hammering shish kebab skewers into each other's head on like a Tuesday night. And Kid Osborne posted the picture and called us out. We're stupid bloggers, a bunch of bullshit. It was probably all gimmick, whatever. So I seen him in Atlantic City in a fucking casino hallway, and I was all tuned the fuck up. I was going to a GCW show, and I stormed right up to him, and I was like, "What's good, man? Like, you got all this shit to talk online? Are you about it?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. It's a gimmick." Shook my hand, wanted to buy us drinks. Um, Next thing you know, he's coming to our fucking show, fucking reffing for us, chilling at my house, with Jimmy. Um, I thought we were all cool. I never had a real problem with the dude. I don't know. He came to our Uncivilized Cup last year. If you buy our DVD, you'll see him sitting front row, marking out for our shit. Yeah, don't buy the DVD for him though. Not like anyone
I'm
really ever
giving
buys
no
DVDs for
publicity there.
him. But I mean, realistically, dude, all the stupid shit online with Kid Osborne, it's
All of
water
you
under the
Dave
bridge to
Meltzer
me. Like,
wannabe
it's just a bunch of
bloggers.
stupid fucking, chit chat back and forth, just bullshitting. If Kit really has a problem with me, he would have hit me up, or we could have worked this out in the ring or some type of shit. But he don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. It's
Wannabe bloggers.
It's an internet
You
fight
blood
back and
marks.
forth,
You fatty.
I think
You
he was a little
fat.
upset when he
People
showed up
think
to
it
the
is.
Uncivilized Cup. We had 100 people there chanting my name, and he was sitting front row watching, and not a single person there knew who he was, other than maybe Rick Hyde or one other person there. Were like, "Oh, is that Kid Osborne?" And the other 98 people were like, "Mike Fatality, yeah." You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe that got to him a little bit. I don't know, man. That's one thing I've
Rick
All of
noticed
Hyde
you
in,
wanted to
in the
know
Dave
what
pro
you thought
Meltzer
wrestling
about.
wannabe
business.
bloggers.
He
I'm
wanted to
sorry.
know
What
what
were
you
you
thought
saying?
about you getting more views than he did on his death hour.
Yeah, am I?
Yeah, that's what he was saying on here.
I
He
mean,
said
I'm
that
gonna be
way
honest.
back
It's not
too.
like I watched his at all.
Honestly, I don't even remember it. I think it was like short. I think it got cut short. Like it was like tech issues or something. I think there was a problem with it. Honestly, I think something happened, but I forgot.
All right, I see Chris is asking me who's your favorite guy on the roster, and he's probably expecting me to say, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to decide, man. We got 3 different divisions in UWF. That's the thing a lot of people don't realize. We have our deathmatch guys. We have our guys that can work a little bit, just get a little hardcore, you know. And then we got our underground division. And those are the guys who do professional style wrestling. They work real matches. Some of them can do flips. Some of them can do Canadian destroyers, all those, high tech moves and shit that you don't really see me going for or caring about. And Chris is one of them. He wrestles as Ray Lewis in UWF. He took on Tristan Ramsey in the first round of the Uncivilized Cup 2019. Buy this shit. I'll
Yeah,
hook you
let's
up
see
if you
it.
buy it. But I
Charles
mean, if it
Langley
really
said,
came
"What's your
down to it,
favorite?" Sorry, go ahead.
I would say my favorite wrestler in UWF is probably a guy named Browns. He's the one who took the mailbox to the head. He was my fucking idol growing up. As crazy as that sounds, some older, drunken, fucking heavy metal dude with long hair just fucking getting wrapped in barbed wire and jumping in the bushes. And I was like 14, 15. I thought he was cool as fuck, man. He took me under his wing. If it wasn't for him and BMFM, Bill motherfucking Miles, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, man. And you know, Browns tells me all the time how proud of me he is and all this shit, and I'm just like, dude, this wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for you, man. So shout out to Browns.
Hmm.
All right,
You think
those are
he's
my
in here
young bucks
watching?
right there.
You think Browns is in here?
Oh, Browns is in here. Yeah, he's in here.
Good. Let's see, Charles Leglett, what's your favorite death match you see? That's like an impossible question, but
Oh man.
best death match, your favorite death match.
Um, I'll tell you what. One of the most memorable death matches. One of my most favorite, just because it shows like how badass fucking deathmatch wrestlers truly are, and the heart and determination that they really have. And it was about, I don't know, a week, maybe a week after Nick Gage died down in Delaware. I was there for that. I was a young ass kid, you know. I watched Nick get stretchered out on a helicopter, fucking bleeding out, flipping off the crowd. And a week later, that motherfucker wrestled Thumbtack Jack in a no rope barbed wire match. All taped up, taking big ass spots. Just like, not to sound like a fucking mark, and I guess I am just for even saying that, but Nick Gage is the fucking man, dude. There's no denying it. Ever since I was a little kid, like Nick got me into deathmatch wrestling, man. I was just a young fucking little punk, getting in trouble, 13 years old. I stumbled upon the old CZW, the Big Vision Entertainment DVDs, maybe like Aerial Assault and like those DVDs that were in, like Best Buy and FYE and all that shit. And, I got the CZW DVDs and I got the XPW DVDs. And The Messiah was one of my favorites. And Supreme. And Nick Gage, man. And Nick Gage just, you know, he got me into this shit, man. As crazy as it is, like, that I've actually shared the ring with him a few times. Oh man, you're gonna put up a picture of me from like 10 years ago?
He said we had an old picture of you coming. I didn't know what he meant, but there it is.
Who
He
posted
said
that?
that's the Mike's running all these pictures and everything. So of
Fuck
course,
you,
shout out to
man.
him. Yeah, he said he had an old school pic of you coming up. Somebody must have sent it in to him,
That's
probably.
not even that old school, man. You got to find a picture of me from like 2006 or 2007, like bald head, just fucking, just going ham in a fucking batting cage.
So, do you watch any like mainstream wrestling? You watch any WWE, AEW, anything like that at all?
Nothing, man.
Do you watch
I'm
like
gonna be honest with
GCW
you.
shows? Unless you're there,
Um, I keep up on GCW a little bit. I watch some of the death matches. You know, to be honest, like UWF is my focus. You know, I watch some other stuff, but it's really just like most of my time is dedicated towards work and fucking UWF. And
right?
you know, to be honest with you, all the guys from GCW who went to AEW were like my least favorite GCW guys anyway. So you
Yeah.
know, so that's me and Browns right there. Uh, that was last year on 420. We did a Flaming Tables match.
Okay. Pulled it up for everybody to see. So.
Yeah, it was like a couple days before I took a really bad, had a really bad accident with my hand.
Rick Hyde says, "Care to give your thoughts on Gwendolyn from California?"
Yeah, he means Guido.
The like Nunzio dude.
No, some other Guido dude. Um, which is funny that you say who Nunzio, like Guido from ECW. No, this
Yeah.
dude stole Guido's name and used it in California, and he was the ref of death. For a little while. I guess he was a ref. He was the ref of death. It's funny because this dude was in my inbox for like a year straight, trying to get booked and come out to UWF, having me fly him out and all this shit. He wanted to work with us, and I forget what happened. I posted like a video clip of one of my matches, and the people in the crowd were chanting "Ref of Death" at our referee for UWF. And this dude commented on our post and was like, "Fucking get a life. You're fucking unoriginal. I'm the ref of death. Blah 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 blah." And it's like, dude, nobody fucking asked you,
That's
and
who you
that's
are.
not even his real name, and like nobody out here knows who the fuck you are. So like, why are you making such a big deal out of it?
Right,
And
yeah.
me and him went back and forth a little bit online because, as everyone who's watching this probably knows, like I don't give a fuck, man. I'm gonna say what I think and what I feel, and
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Yeah,
whether
we've
I'm
had some
online or I'm in
disagreements.
person. I'm a fucking brutally honest person, man. I piss people off just by telling them the truth. I say shit that people don't want to hear, but it's it's real shit. You know.
Right. Yeah, I know I don't even know about what, but I know we've went back and forth in some comment threads, you know. Just I remember like a time or two. I don't even remember what they were now, but you know,
You just see me lighting
could have been
someone up.
no, like me and you were like going back and forth on something. It's been
No
a
shit,
while
really?
though. Yeah, yeah, it's been a minute. That's actually what I used to do in this group though. I just used to go in and just get people fired up all day long.
You just troll.
Yeah, it was just good times. You know, it wasn't nothing
Dude,
too bad.
it's all fun and games, man. We're just bullshitting.
Yeah, exactly. The people watching is the ones that take things to the next level. Like Connor Claxton, Kid Osborne. The people is what makes the beef more serious than what it is.
Yeah, man. I think that's where like the ego comes into play with professional wrestlers, and they're like, "Hey, this dude's not even fully trained, and he's just working backyard shows, not even making money, and somehow he's got 100 people there cheering for him." And meanwhile, I can't be remembered after taking my own scaffold spot. Oh, did I say that? That's the whiskey right there. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
know,
here's the
man.
hand gas there.
It's all fun and games, man. To me, like I'm not trying to hurt nobody, but I'm not claiming to be a professional either. And
Mm,
that's where I think a lot of people get it fucking twisted. Where they're like, they take it too seriously, man. Like we're having a fucking party. If you've ever been to a UWF show, you would know it's a fucking party. Like
right.
the wrestling's there, our show's there, but the atmosphere alone, that's what we do. Like we party and the wrestling is fucking there.
Right. Let's see. So if anybody else wants to drop any comments, I'll make sure I get to them. Scrolling through. Of course, make sure you buy Uncivilized Cup. I'm gonna say it again.
What's going on, guys?
There
Ask
they
me
are.
anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them about 5 minutes to ask whatever they want. It could be non-wrestling related, anything.
Oh
Red
yeah, we
Tide
got
says
these
ain't
shirts
no
for
show
sale
like the
too. There's Mr.
UWF show.
Wrestling right here.
You have those for sale also?
Let's see if you can see. We got the UWF logo on the back. This is Mr. Wrestling.
Gotcha.
That's the real ref of death. The ref of death from the East Coast.
Mm. Mikey wants to know best and worst UWF match you've seen.
I don't know, man. Best. I don't know. That's hard to answer that question, man. But I'll tell you what. Worst UWF match, and I don't even know why I'm gonna say this fucking dude's name, but Tim Dog 2020. This fucking idiot. I would tell you to go look up his matches on YouTube, but I deleted all of them. That fucking bad. Oh, also, Mikey Chaos. I'm gonna post a video clip later just so everyone can see it and laugh. Biggest fucking joke to ever come through UWF, man. I see Rick
So
Hyde. Any ideas for stipulations? The Uncivilized Cup 2020. Um,
yeah, you gotta be able to give us one stipulation, right?
well, I'm going to tell you what, that tournament's not even being thought about yet. We have the whole other deathmatch tournament coming up, UWF versus POR, with Bad Luck 13 playing a set in between the rounds or whatever. We're still
Any
kind of working on
stipulations
that
thought up for
tournament.
that yet?
What's that?
Is there any stipulations thought up for it yet?
Yeah, there's a couple that's been discussed, including a 200 light tube match. The problem with that is it's May 31st, and like I said earlier, we may have to postpone and/or reschedule.
Right.
But this year in UWF, I would like to see Panes of Glass. Last year we did House of Horrors match. I would like to do that again, do it better. Especially now we have a roof with rafters to actually hang the tubes from. It's going to be a fucking shit show in the best way possible. We did electrified light tubes last year for one spot. It was kind of us just feeling it out, not knowing what to expect. I want to do that again.
Right.
200,000 thumbtack blow up doll match. Rick Hyde, if you bring the thumbtacks, that match will happen.
Joseph says, I remember Tim Dog trying to get a rope break in a death match.
What's up,
Wow.
Joe? Shout out to Joe, man. He was one of our fucking first UWF fans. One of the most dedicated from the beginning.
Yeah. That's one of the most dedicated fans we have in death matches in general.
Yeah, no shit, man.
So, what's your thoughts on IWA Mid South? You mentioned Prince of the Death earlier. You got anything you can say about them? You one of the Ian Rotten haters? That might have been what we had a comment thread about.
Nah, I'm not an Ian Rotten hater at all, man. He was always one of my favorite growing up. ECW, all that shit. There's no denying what he's done for deathmatch wrestling in the United States. I got nothing to say about Ian. I met him once or twice. I did a seminar with him and Mickey Knuckles when I was like 17 years old. Mickey Knuckles fucking forearmed the shit out of me. Almost knocked me the fuck out. I met Ian
Yeah.
at a show. I've been to a couple of Mid-South shows out in Indiana and Illinois over the years. He was always extremely nice. I got nothing bad to say about Ian. He's never ripped me off. I've ordered from him personally a few times back in the day. There's all types of stories, but you're not going to
Right.
hear nothing bad from me.
Yeah, that's actually the answer I
I
always
respect the
want.
shit out of him.
That's my local promotion, so I go to all the King of the Deaths and Prince of the Deaths, and so that's usually what I'm in here arguing with people about because everybody hates Ian Rotten. So
Hey, I mean,
not funny.
like I said, he never did me dirty, but there's a lot of evidence against him. That's
You see
UWF
that
is for the
comment by Rick
children.
Howard? You see that comment from Rick Hyde about Crisis Benoit?
Yeah, they're from Italy. I'm pretty sure their trip got canceled over here. We haven't made an official announcement about that show yet. We will eventually. I was kind of waiting for this show to actually announce the postponements, and we're trying to do this fucking shit and quarantine and whatever, social distancing, all this shit, just try to get this over with. At first I was like, fuck it, we're running shows, we're doing whatever. And I still would be down with that, but like most of my roster was like, dude, I'm taking this seriously. And I'm like, well, there's only so much you can do with 3 fucking people. So,
Right.
Drew Chaos, I
Joe
see
comes in
him
and said,
being,
yeah, he said he's
Drew
gonna kill
Chaos
it
is
in
a cool
prison.
dude, man. I've talked to him a couple of times. He's interested in
Coronavirus.
getting together with UWF maybe this year. maybe take pictures. Maybe me and him will beat the fuck out of each other. I don't know. Joe, if you're watching this, you know I'm down, man.
Yeah, that Prince of the Death this year is looking actually really good. You
Yeah,
mentioned
man.
earlier Tristan Ramsey. You got Drew Chaos. Cody McCulley's in it. Phoenix Kid, I believe.
Yeah, man. Yo, shout out to both those dudes too, because they're both super cool in my book, man. I've talked to Phoenix a couple times. Me and Cody never really talked, but he's on my Facebook. Me and him have shared each other's stuff or liked each other's shit, commented on each other's shit, whatever.
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the next year or two.
Yep.
Phoenix Kid,
A lot
that
of
dude's a
young guys
worker,
coming
man.
out.
I would like to have all these guys up here at some point, man. You guys want to get
Yeah, you
involved,
have
just hit me up, man.
man. We need to start just a big old PayPal in the MDKC to get all these guys in the backyard.
Yeah, man, you want to come out to the backyard, hit me up. Although, to be honest, it's not really looking like a backyard anymore, so you guys will see some more updated pictures soon. Yeah, that
Awesome.
backyard right there, we're out of there. So,
Right. You haven't ran in the show at the new location yet?
no.
That's the ones that's still up in the air.
Yep.
All right, man. We greatly appreciate having you on. A lot of people came and hung out with us, so we appreciate all that support. Of course, the PayPal, we just dropped that link again, so if anybody wants to donate to it, make sure you do. The merch, hit up him for that. Uncivilized Cup, get the DVD, get your koozie, your t-shirts. I think he said he had pins, all that stuff. Get all that. And I'm trying to pull up the schedule, Mike. I always struggle with this part, my guy. Let me pull this up here. So we still have Chuck Stein, I think, coming on. I believe it's Boris Dookie, Jerry Nelms. We're gonna have another one with Akira. We're gonna have that Fire Dwarf come on. There's a lot of the big sensation over him on the internet. The whole spill over the health virus, or the health department shutting down that show around here and all that. That was on the news. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but he's gonna be
Yeah,
on.
I'd seen all that when it came out. Yeah, that's
Yeah, but
crazy.
yeah, that was just right down the road for me. It was pretty much trying to get deathmatch wrestling out of Indiana was the push, and it didn't really work. So that's good. But yeah, man, we greatly appreciate it. You got anything else you want to say?
Look us up on YouTube. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, Underground Wrestling Federation. If you're local to Philly, if you're in Jersey, if you're in Delaware, if you're in New York City, if you want to come out to a show, all you got to do is hit me up. Reach out to me. I'll let you know how to get there. We're a big family. It's a big party. Like I said, we're all just having a good fucking time, man. So, you want to get involved, hit me up. If you want to watch, hit me up. If you want to ref, if you want to wrestle, whatever you want to do. If you just want to come get drunk, you need those
Whatever.
Zona dudes up from Mexico. I'll tell you what, when you guys see our new location, we're going to be the Zona 23 of America.
Awesome. Does that mean cars? Can you release any of that at all? That means
Cars,
cars. Too.
trailers, everything, man.
Awesome. We can't wait to see that, man. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
All right, Blake. Thanks, man.